Hey, gang, this is Carl White.
Hey, and this is Steve Kiles.
So we're doing a podcast episode together here.
Yep.
So you run a podcast called
Loan Officer Leadership Podcast.
And I run one called
Loan Officer Freedom Podcast.
Yeah, that's it. I
it.
went blank there for a minute. So Loan Officer Freedom Podcast. And so what we're going to do here is we asked a question the other day. What is your biggest concern?
We had a ton of feedback.
Great stuff too.
Man,
right?
Heartfelt, very genuine. It is what people are thinking, our loan officers are thinking in today's environment.
And if you haven't listened to the other episodes, I'd recommend go listen to the
last
which
two.
Is probably she probably played them back to back.
Yeah.
So the last two recordings that we did, just being transparent, we're sitting here one afternoon. You're sitting here here in the headquarters, and we knocked out like 3 episodes back to back. We just had a flow going here. And sometimes she separates them a little bit, but it should be the last two. It'd be really good stuff. And I'm going to tell you that on these concerns, we didn't sugarcoat this stuff. So we honor the questions.
Yeah.
They're great stuff. Frankly, almost every single one of the concerns that people had was ones that I personally have had at some point in my career. Yeah. And a couple of them still do, right? Yeah. Still things that I'm working on. But I want you to understand that when we do these under this format, we're being very honest. We're being very straightforward because we think we owe you that. Like this 100%. Is not to sugarcoat. This is not to give everybody a participation trophy. Not that there's anything wrong with that, right? But that's in today's business with what's going on. Nobody needs a participation trophy. They need to know, Carl, Steve, what do I need to do to close more loans?
Hey, and Carl, this is a conversation that you would literally talk to me and say, hey, I'm thinking about this, or I would talk to you, and it's the honest, honoring conversation that's candid. Just says, look, it's not an emotional conversation, but look, these have to be addressed or talked about.
We'll risk our relationship with you to tell you the truth.
100%.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah, because today we're going to be talking about help.
This is a very sensitive subject, and we wrestled. Actually, right before we hit the record button, I said, Steve, are you sure we should talk about this? And you said, Carl, we owe it to him.
Yeah, 100%.
And so, all right. So,
well, it's a real conversation.
And it's a serious conversation.
100%. So here's the comment that came in.
Or the concern.
The concern.
Go ahead.
Hey, my number one concern is losing great people that have spent years learning and serving. We as an industry will miss them. We can't keep them all, yet they deserve it. I'm trying everything I can to save these jobs.
Okay.
And hold on. First off, that's heartfelt. That's legitimate. And it's honest.
This is a good person doing this comment.
And they're feeling the pinch of what we're seeing in the market, which is there's a compression. There's a whole bunch of things happening behind the scenes.
And we've been working with these people, and they become
family,
friends, right? People that we care about. They got my back, right? Yeah. I got your back.
And I'm staring at a P&L, and I'm staring at this group of people. And I'm not bringing in enough loans, maybe to support.
I got 3 support helps, and we closed 5 loans last month.
Real story.
Or 3 loans last month. Or I got 2 people, or I got 1 person. I closed 2 loans for the last 2 months. Right. So here's the thing on this one.
Yeah.
Right. So and listen this through. So give us a little chance here, because you might not want to hear what we're getting ready to say, but this is the truth. Right. This will save your business. And understand, if your business goes under, everybody loses. Now you don't have a job either.
100%.
Right? Everybody loses.
100%.
Whereas when those that do survive this, where everybody that does kind of what we're saying here, I think will. Yeah. Right. We see those loan officers we work with in the Freedom Club. They're doing very well today. All right. So here's the thing. So Steve, what's the number one purpose of your business, of any business?
What's most important? You got to make a profit.
Make a profit.
You have to make a profit.
So the number one concern of a business is to make a profit. Now, in saying that, we want to make sure it's legal, ethical, and moral.
100%.
But that's,
you go too many quarters without profit, there's no business.
There's no business.
There's
and then
nothing.
Everybody loses.
100%.
Right. And then we pay, and I'm not being funny. We're unemployed. Now we get unemployment checks. So now we're pulling from instead of contributing to.
Right.
And we're not paying taxes on payroll taxes. So there's less money to go to social programs that I think are very necessary. Right. And so our number one job is to legally, ethically, and morally
lead our businesses to profit,
to turn a profit. That's right. Now we don't step on people, and we don't shove people out while they do that. Remember, legal, ethical, and moral. Right. Turn a profit. My job is not to make sure that everybody in my office has a job. Frankly, that's their job. So my like, let's say my processor,
Yeah.
every single time he or she talks to one of my real estate agents, talks to the borrower, talks to the co-borrower,
Yep.
he and she better at the end of that conversation say, got it. We got page 3 of the bank statements. Thank you very much. By the way, Carl wanted to ask you, can he count on you anytime one of your friends, family, coworkers looking to buy, sell, or refinance? Can he count on you? What should I tell him? Right. So she asked for the business at the end of every call. Well, if my processors say, well, that's not my job.
Carl, I don't feel comfortable doing that.
Well, you know what? You don't have to feel comfortable doing
Yeah.
that. And I'm going to help you out a little bit. So this might not be the best job for you, because if you don't do that, Bob, Jill, whoever, insert in name, then we don't have any loans for you to process. And if you don't have any loans for you to process, this isn't going to work out.
Yeah.
Right. And so now is not the time.
Firmness is what's giving the job security.
That's exactly right.
Isn't that amazing?
I say that. So we always say, Steve, you and I together, we always say our responsibility to society is to give people the opportunity to work with, and I'm just saying it how we say it, work with an amazing company or group of people. And as all of you are listening, you can say that same thing, right? I'm not talking about me and Steve, but they have the amazing opportunity to work with you in your mortgage business. And you treat them nice, you pay them very fairly. And as long as they help you grow the business, their position is secure. If they don't help you grow your business, their position is not secure. And I'll find somebody that will, right? I'm just being honest here. So my job is not to make sure everybody keeps their job. My job is to have everybody the opportunity to keep their job. Because I can't, because like you and me.
Once you grow past 1 or 2 or 3, we can't do it all.
You're
depending on the team.
In our situation combined, it's probably like literally, gosh, 300-400 employees in our umbrella that we're working between the mortgage business and the training business. It's literally about 3-4. My shoulders aren't that broad. I'm just being honest here. So when I hit about 6 or 7 or 8 employees, it's been a while, but when I was about 6, 7, 8 employees, I felt all this pressure. And I like, I'm not going to say I had chest pains, but I could feel like the anxiety. And I couldn't sleep at night because I got to make sure Jill keeps her job. I got to make sure Bob keeps her. And after about 8 of them, I was like,
I can't handle all that.
my shoulders aren't that broad. And that they have to play a part in retaining their job. And if they don't play a part in retaining their job,
it's okay. It's available, just not here.
Just not here.
It can't be.
It
doesn't work here.
Because then I'll lose money. And then everybody loses their job. And then the money that we're paying in taxes, the money that we play in the Social Security fund, the money that we play in the unemployment insurance, all that ceases. And now we're pulling from, and I'm not saying this in a nasty way, but we become like a, gosh, the word parasite's coming to mind. And I'm sure there's a better word. And I don't mean it in the negative sense.
What you're saying. You're
pulling, we're pulling from instead of contributing. And so it's not my job to make sure everybody keeps their job. It's my responsibility to make sure they have the opportunity. And if they don't help us by asking for the business, and I don't care if my receptionist, same thing. When he or she answers a phone, at the end of that phone call, if it's like she's taking a message or something like that, maybe she took a message for the processor because they're busy or whatever, she or he better be asking for the business. And by the way, we have scripts written out for them that they read, because I can't, my receptionist, awesome lady, right? In my case, it's a lady, awesome lady, but she's not a salesperson. So I can't count on her. Now she's organized and she knows who's what way better than I am, right? But I know how to ask for the business. And so I typed out the script. It's sitting there on her phone that if you see a borrower, or if you're talking to a borrower, here's the call to action at the end of the call for that one. If you're talking to a real estate agent, here's the script for that, and read it. And if I got somebody who says, hey, I'm not going to read that script, that's like me having owning a McDonald's. And I got somebody, I'm not going to make the fries. Well, that's okay. It's not available here. We're McDonald's. Here's the good news is you don't have to make the fries, but the person that on that position does.
Yes.
And so I'll have to trade you in for future draft choice. Right. So this is not to be mean or anything. And do we want everybody on the team to have a job? Yes.
Yes, we do.
But they have to help us. You cannot put all that pressure on you, because you put all that pressure on you, you're ineffective. And your mind is how can I save their job? How can I save their job? Instead of going out there and asking for the business.
You know how you save their job? You sell.
Yeah. Go sell
You
some
sell.
lemons. Yeah.
And then you let your team contribute in the way they contribute on their job and ask for the business when they're on the phone.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's how we have to do it.
And so this is not like the people that, gosh, how do I say this? I'm reading this saying, we can't keep them all, yet they deserve it. They only deserve it.
That's a heavy statement.
That's a heavy statement.
That's
they only deserve it if they follow the scripts and ask for the business on our behalf every time they're talking to somebody on the phone. Odds.
Hey, well, Carl, but I've been doing this for 30 years. Why am I going to start asking for the business now?
Because you need to.
Why? Why, Carl? I'm a processor.
Well, you know what? So here's the thing, Steve. So I'm going to talk, Steve, processor, Steve. Yeah. So here's the thing, man, that's a great question. I hear what you're saying. You're right. In the past, we didn't have to do that. Right now, there's thousands and thousands of people in the industry getting laid off right now because volume's down. So Steve, I got your back, but I need to know that you have mine too.
That's so powerful.
So here's the thing. And I do have your back.
Yeah.
But you need to have mine.
Yeah. And so that means when you answer the phone or you make the follow-up phone call, you ask for the business.
You have to ask for that because Steve, if you don't do that, neither one of our jobs is secure and it's not going to work out for either one of us. Because I don't want to say, if you don't do it, I'm going to fire you, because that comes across as uncool.
Right.
But if I say, if you don't do this, your job's not secure, neither is mine.
Sure.
And frankly, neither is mine.
Yeah,
neither is mine. And so this is the way that we have to do it now. We can't do it the way we used to, or we'd all be selling horse and buggy whips. But the buggy whip guy, the guy that made, or the lady that made buggy whips, had to start making something else, like, I don't know, gas pedals on the car or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so you can't, well, we've always done it this way. Well,
we're not in that season.
Yeah, we're not. We used to have to crank the phonograph to play the record. We don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
So things change, and we have to change when things change. So one thing, like I look at like my dear Diane.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I love my Diane. Yeah. So Diane has been working with me. We've been working together and I love a lot of people in my company, right? Like literally.
Yeah.
But Diane and I have been together working. So she's not the lovely Mrs. White.
She's not married to you, but y'all have
she's
worked
married.
together.
She's married to one of my best friends. But anyway, we worked together for the last 21. I always feel like I have to explain this, but we've worked together for the last 21, 22 years. And we were talking just the other day, probably about a week ago, her and I were having a conversation and just talking about the amazing journey we've been on together, right?
Yeah.
It's been amazing. And I said, Diane, what do you think it is? Like when we were a mortgage broker, one of the top ones. When I was a loan officer, one of the top ones. When I was a branch manager, one of the top ones. Training, the best, right? And so we've always, and always with her,
right
at
there.
work by my side, right? Yeah. And I said, what do you think it is? What's our secret sauce here? Like really, it's just me and you. Like what's our secret sauce here? And she says, it's our ability to adapt. It's our ability to adapt, the ability to change. When things changed, we changed. Now, we didn't change before things changed. Like I hear some people say, well, I need to change now for the way it may be in the future.
Yeah.
No.
Just adapting as it came in.
As it came. So when I can tell you right now with Diane and myself that you put us on red, we turn red. You put us on blue, you turn blue. You put us on plaid, brother, we're freaking plaid. And so again, legal, ethical, and moral.
Sure.
So we're very adaptable. You look at, like, I was watching Tom Brady the other day, having a little off season so far this year, by the way.
You said that he lost a game here.
I think he just lost another one too. I haven't seen it yet, but I heard that he lost the other one too. But you take these great quarterbacks, they're adaptable. Like they get hiked the ball and they get ready to pass, but they see there's a rush going. They throw a short pass real quick, or they duck behind, they scramble around, they run the ball instead. They don't just, well, nope, this was the play.
Yeah.
And even though this is 400-pound linebacker getting ready to break my knees, I'm going to stand right here because in the play, this is where the arrow is drawn to stand here. No.
Well, that would be foolish.
That would be foolish. That would be a special kind of
like
stupid.
what we're doing in our businesses.
We have to be adaptable. So we have to go, all right, well, what is working? Like what is working? And we can help you with that.
Hey, and maybe some of that's buying into the vision, helping them understand the vision, helping them understand what helps us win.
And just having an honest conversation.
Honest conversation. Yeah. Hey, the market, as it continues to shift, everybody on the team has got to continue to contribute. Hey, and one thing I read in this too, is I'm trying everything I know to save jobs. That's so heavy. That's so heavy.
Well, and it lets me know where this person's heart is.
Oh, 100%.
And I love their heart. I love their philosophy, but But I'm going to tell you,
we just got to flip the script.
We got to flip
opportunities,
the script.
not jobs.
That's right. Because if you put all that pressure on you, it's overwhelming. I know it is for me, just overwhelming. And so let them bear the responsibility. We're not talking about 4 and 5 and 6 year old kids that it's our responsibility to help them out of the fire. Right. I get that. That's a whole different statement. These are grown men, grown women that have to participate in their own rescue. They have to participate in their own rescue. And if they don't want to participate in their own rescue, that's okay. This just isn't going to work out.
It's available. It's just not available here because there's somebody else that will and will do it exceptional.
And they're going to go under. Like if I can tell you right now, if in this market, if the whole team isn't helping you sell, this isn't going to work out.
Yeah. Hey, and talk about one thing. This helped me last year. Probably the biggest aha for me was when you talked about loyalty had an expiration date.
And this is a hard one to talk about, but I think we need to. I'm not saying we don't, but it's so.
Well, hold on. The reason why I think it's important is because it's just seasons. You got to recognize we love people dearly, but you have to hold them loosely.
Yeah.
And we know this. There are people that are on our team right now that they're in the right spot, but in a different season, they won't be in the right spot and they won't be on the team. And we have to be okay with it.
Yeah.
We got to recognize that we're constantly moving forward and there's on and off ramps to our life.
Yeah.
If you're a branch manager, you're a team manager, we like to think they're going to be with us forever. You and Diane's an anomaly. You and Tammy's an anomaly. Yeah. Me and Danelle's an anomaly. But more than likely, there's going to be on ramps and off ramps, and we have to be okay with it. Yeah. And as the season moves and you have a team member that says, I'm not willing to, for us, do Just Ask Tuesday updates on a Tuesday for our back-end loan partners, that's okay. It's not available here. Yeah. What's available here is our loan partners help our loan officers by their goal. Their fourth metric is that they get 3 referrals for every 10 loans in process. You don't do it, Carl. It's okay. It's not available here.
Yeah.
And there has to be an assurance of the result is more important, although the person is super important. We lose sight of the goal because we get so emotionally attached. And the reality is anybody can ask for the business and anybody can be effective if they want to. They choose not to.
All they got to do is read the script.
That's it. Hey, we'll talk about it real quick because I do think this is important. It was something that really helped me because I've always been hold on to them at a detriment. And what I realized was when you told me this, I began to hold people looser.
Well, it goes back to what you just said. And I wasn't trying to throw you off there, where loyalty has an expiration date.
Yeah.
And so what that means is, like, if I've got somebody and they've been working with me and it's been working well, and let's say they have an off day.
Yeah.
Totally cool. Let's say they have an off week.
Totally cool.
I've had that. Let's say they had an off month. Now we need to start thinking about it.
Have a conversation.
Yeah. And then if whatever's causing that off, if we don't get, and I'm not talking about somebody's got a health issue that we need to help them, right? I'm not talking about that.
No. We're talking about attitude.
Usually it's going to be state of mind.
Yeah.
Right? Something's wrong with their state of mind. They're going through a funk.
Yeah.
And so I can't have that funk happen month after month after month after month. So like so if I got somebody working with me and for the last year, they've been great. And now they need to help ask for the business on my behalf when they answer the phone and I'm not available and they're not willing to do that. That loyalty just expired. And frankly, if I stop paying them,
their loyalty would expire.
Yeah. I say, hey, Diane, this has never happened, but I can tell you right now, she would. If I say, hey, Diane, I'm in a pinch. I need to hold off on paying for a couple of weeks. Her loyalty to me and mine to her.
Great example.
100%. She would say
she would stay with
absolutely.
You weeks, but months and years.
She couldn't.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't expect.
That's a great example.
So that loyalty would expire.
It has to.
So the same way then, and I'm not even going to use her as an example, but if Bob is working for me, no offense to Bobs out there in the world, right? And I don't have a Bob that works for me that I know of. I'm just hypothetical name. If Bob's working for me and he's not willing to help me bring in more loans, quote, that's not my job.
Yeah.
Bob, love you, brother, but this isn't going to work out, right? No hard feelings, and you'll need to go where somebody else where it's okay with that. So yeah, the loyalty has an expiration date is
real.
It's a real thing.
It has to.
It has to be.
You love people. It doesn't mean you don't love people, but you can't at a detriment try to carry your staff to help them save a job
Too much pressure
without contribution.
Everybody goes down.
And then
Yeah,
you're no good.
yeah,
You've hurt your family, you've hurt your kids, you've hurt your company.
And then the money that we get, and we support the local Little League team, and the money we get to support this family, the money we get to help the hurricane victims, the money we get to insert in, we do scholarships. We bought cars for single parent, it's been moms, I guess, but single moms that needed working cars. We've done that like 2 times so far. Had a guy not too long ago reach out to us, blew up the engine of his car, and need a new engine. Done. But that only happens because we're asking for the business, we're closing loans, we have money coming in, and then we can help these other people, right? So
good.
It's just
it's the real conversation.
Because if we don't do that, we have no money, and all that stuff comes to a screeching halt, right? So
that's powerful.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So it's hard conversation, and
hey, well, listen. One of the things that we've really translated in our branch, part of our culture is yes. Now let's do it profitable. And I think that's the philosophy is. The answer is always yes, we have to do it profitably, which oftentimes requires your contribution to what we're doing. And commitment means that we're going to pivot based on results. And so, we hear your heartfelt concern on this question, and I hope we answered it. But it's got to be profitable.
Yeah, it's got to be profitable. That's
and today is lean, and so it just means we're finding it means people have to produce more. We got to work. This will work here for everybody.
We have to squeeze a little bit more juice out of every orange.
Out of the person we have and the people we have to make sure we're being the most effective, because we're stewards of our business and profitability, so that we have a business 2 years from now.
That's exactly right.
100%.
So good stuff.
Great episode.
Hey, if you'd like some help with, on these people, on these people, on this help that you're getting, how do we teach them these scripts? What are the scripts? Who do they say it to?
We can show you
100% walk you through that. No charge whatsoever.
Go to freedomplanningcall.com, freedomplanningcall.com, and we'd love to give you the scripts for your people, your team members, so that when they're making these calls, they're asking for the business and getting results.
Yeah, good stuff.
Good stuff. Hey, remember this, anything we're doing is worth doing badly. Just get started. See ya.
You had the last word again.
See ya.